So depends on the computer talent, guys. Depends on the computer speed and capability only. So I found some missions even taking half an hour. Some missions will take 10 minutes. Some missions will take 15. But here in this case, I'm expecting my mission will take around 5 minutes. And this is trying to convert this mission into a chef server. So it is going on. So while the server does, so we have to wait, guys. There is no other option. So meanwhile, only one thing you can do is we can make the other missions up. Workstation and node already they are up. So configuration should be done one after the other. Do not do anything parallel. I repeat, all the configurations parts should be done one after the other only. No parallel things here. So we are just waiting for, I'm guessing more 2 or 3 minutes it should take. One update for you guys. I guess I shared you some document on your Telegram channel about some 40 Linux commands. Have you gone through it? Did you check? First of all, did I share? Yes or no? I don't know. I shared it. Yes. So whatever the documents, I mean to say, whatever Linux command that you see in that page, frankly, in a real-time DevOps, I would say 80% of the commands you will use them. So that's the reason I felt it is super important for you. So kindly keep the document with you and use it effectively. So the document does not give the details in depth, but the point is the document is trying to tell you that what commands are being used. So if you have time, so try to do little more, explore more on that command. Okay, that is what you guys have to do. So keep that page saved. So almost from frankly also to say one more point is I'm expecting from that 40 commands, you may face one or two in the interview on if they touch the commands. Very precisely real-time oriented commands, those are. Okay, so let's come back here. We can see chef configuration, chef client finish, so and so. It took almost like 8 minutes, 12 seconds to finish this. And finally, I got chef server is reconfigured. And once you see this message, you are good to go. And keep in mind, for me, it took 8 minutes. For your computer, it may take 10, 20, 30. You have to be patient enough. Either it should be successful or a failure. That's it. Okay. So now it's good. Now I want to check whether all the parts are loaded properly or not. So the command is status. So paste it. So these are the components. So you can say core components of your chef. So Nginx, OD, OPC, chef, lot of. But here the point is you need to focus on the first letter. Run, 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 run. If you see any one service is not running, it will definitely impact the functionality of the chef, guys. So basically, if one of the services is not running, so the simple solution is you have to reconfigure it. That's it. That's the only thing you need to do. Refire this command. That's the only thing. Even if beyond that things are not working, then you need to sit with the chef admin and get the problem resolved. So mostly the services may not work because of some concerns in the administration side. So by default, it will work. If it is not, that is a solution. Now I see all the components are good. Now next thing is we need to create the account. Like in Jenkins, the moment you install the Jenkins, we went ahead with creating the account. Here also, the moment you install and configuration is up on the server, we have to create the account. And whatever the first account that you are going to create, it will carry the admin power. So this is the command, guys. You see? So this is the command to create the user. And wherever some red colors are there, your duty is to fill those details. And black stuff, bold, is command itself. Nothing to change. Now you can see here, if I highlight the same thing, so I think from here to here, I'll highlight this as red color. This is what I filled up. And the last thing is this is what I filled. Right? Rest of the things are constant. You see chef server CTL, create user. You have to choose a username. You can choose any username. I have chosen admin. And for this fellow, what will be the first name? I said it is Vikram. What if its last name? Give some last name and email ID. Make sure that you provide the correct email address, email ID, and then password -f. Okay, password -f. Now, here is an interesting path. Now, in the chef, what happens is chef takes the responsibility of creating a password for you and puts the password in a file. So your duty is to just give the part of command only. So don't create a password there. Chef automatically will create a password. Some students, what they are doing is instead of this password, they are typing the password there. So no, password -f. And how you should declare in an open source, all the passwords are saved at this location /etc/chef folder. So in this location, this is a default case /etc/chef. And here you need to fill the username. So the path is this. So if I update this path, so /etc/chef/ here user_name dot pem. So this is a default location. So what is our username in this? My username is admin. That's the reason I put this as admin.pem. Am I clear on this command, guys? Confirm. So you need to know what I'm filling there. That's most important. So this is a username. This is the first name. This is the last name. This is the email ID. And this is the path. Okay. At the last, this is nothing but the username. So in this entire details, this is the username. If it is written as XYZ here, then this also should be xyz.pem. Are we clear, Shravya, Mayuri, Maunika? I'm asking you only the reason is some students are practicing this incorrectly. So that I don't want your batch to do the same mistake. So that's the reason I'm stressing here. So let me say it's an admin. And here also it's admin. So paste this and press enter. It got created. Now, whether it got created or not, to verify it, this is the command. Now, anyway, if somebody asks me what is a PEM, then this is a full form. So which is already we learned in AWS. So in EC2 chapter, PEM full form is privacy enhanced mail, guys. The same logic applies here. Privacy enhanced mail. Now, if you want to check whether user get created or not, so this is the command. So the command is this chef-server-ctl and user-list. So if you fire this command, what happens is it is going to tell you whether user account created or not. You see? So it is showing you the two IDs here. One is a pivotal and other one is admin. So this is the one which we just created. And pivotal is a default one which comes when you install the chef. So we are not planning to use this at all, so we can ignore. And this is the admin, which we just created for our practice. So that's the user creation process. The next thing is organization creation process. So according to the architecture, I hope you remember, we need to create an org so that we can attach the client computers there. So now our duty is to create the org. So this is the command to create the org. So our duty is to fill the details, guys. So let me fill the details instead of copy pasting. So here you need to fill the short name. Short name is what? You can choose any short name, guys. I will say VKT. Okay, my name. The next thing is for that organization, you have to fill the full name. The full name in the double quotes. That is the thing. Short name do not have double quotes, but full name will have double quotes. So I'll say VKT technologies. You can give anything there. Now, to this, whatever the organization that you're going to create, for that organization, you need to assign some user account so that that user account you're going to use to deploy the applications. So tell me, guys, can I assign a user account called XYZ here? And whatever the user account that you're going to assign, fill up there, that account should be already created. If that is a logic, can you tell me XYZ, is it a valid one? What do you think, Nayak, Nagireddy, Pavan? So if that is true, so I told you, right, we need to assign some user account there. So did we create XYZ? All are dumb. I don't know why. No, so XYZ is not created. So that means it will fail. So what is a user account currently that we have on the server side? These are only two, correct? So you have to assign any one of them. So my choice is to go with admin. So what does it mean? Admin user account will have the power to go and reach out to the VKT organization and do the deployments. That is the meaning of this command. And then at the end, you have to fill the password. For organization also, you'll have the password, guys. The path is same again. So the path is constant. That is /etc/chef. Then here you need to fill the organization short name. Our organization short name was what? VKT. Because that is coming from here. Then hyphen validator is a common word to identify a password differences between a user and an organization. So simple thing, a user will have something, okay, and ends with PEM, password file. But an organization, you have something and will say hyphen validator.pem. That's a difference. So if you see anything that ends with hyphen validator, that's an indication that it's an organization password. In PEM, if you don't see hyphen validator, then that means it's a user password. So that is how differentiation. So this is the organization password. That's the reason we have to keep hyphen validator. So copy this and create the organization. Press enter. Organization got created. If Linux is super calm without any errors, you got your prompt back means the work is over. But still, if you wanna verify, this is a command. Organization list. So fire this command and see what happens. chef-server-ctl org-list. So this will confirm you whether the organization has created or not. Yeah, it got created. So that's organization is VKT. Got it? So that is the one. And the next step is you have to configure the firewall. Now, very important knowledge here is star rated point. Please write this into your notes. Chef infrastructure operates on the port number 80 and 443. That means on the server side, you need to have the port number 80 and port number 443 enabled. Okay. So these are the commands to 80 is nothing but HTTP. 443 is nothing but HTTPS. So these are firewall commands. You need to copy this and execute so that ports are configured. You should see a message that says success, guys. then anything that you update to the firewall, you need to reload it the firewall also, so that it impact the changes to impact the changes. So it's done. So firewall is also done. Okay. So that's about the steps of the workstation. Now, shall we summarize, guys? Let's not look into the book. What was our first step? Just summarize. Tell me, guys, what was our first step? What we done here? We ran that server config command. Reconfigure, yes. So reconfigure command we ran. Second, we checked the status. Okay. Third, we created user account just in gray style. Fourth, we bother about org creation, organization was created. And fifth, we bother about firewall. Am I right? So in the interview, if you can at least give the rough steps, they'll accept you, because remembering the commands, it is humanly impossible either for me or for you also. Okay, but at least the flow you should remember. Do you agree with me? What do you say, Rahul, Rohini, Samir? Because humanly commands remembering is a tough job, but at least if you remember the flow, they'll acknowledge you that you have the knowledge. So generally in a DevOps, most of the activities that we do, we follow the document only. So we open up the right site, we open up the right document, we follow the steps in place. Okay. So nothing to by heart here, guys. None of the commands, even I don't by heart. So the point is you need to remember, if you are using frequently the steps or commands that will come by habit, you will remember. Okay. But in flow, you have to remember. This you cannot escape. Reconfigure status, user creation, organization creation, firewall. That's it. Now let's move on with the workstation now. So let's jump to the workstation. So where is our workstation guy? Mission is on. Make sure that workstation is on. Connect to the workstation now. 192.168.1.220 is our workstation. Connected to it. So we got connected. So once you got connected, okay. So this is where we are. So we are the workstation configuration. Step one is make sure that workstation is already installed, which we done yesterday. Step two, we have to create the Chef repo. Okay, now this is where you need to apply the common sense, guys. So these are all case studies. So let me discuss the case study. Case number 1. If you are newly setting up the infrastructure, if you are newly setting up the Chef, then you have to create the Chef repo. Make sense? Do you agree, guys? If you are newly trying to set up, then Chef repo is also new thing only for us. So that's the reason we create the Chef repo. Case number 2. Okay. Already server exists. This is what scenario is. Server exists. We are trying to add a workstation. That means this is not a new setup. Do you agree? This is very cautious step, guys. So in a real time, so server already exists and we already add the workstation, and they will clearly tell you that infrastructure already exists, and they are telling you that this is not a new setup. That means we are just trying to add the existing infrastructure, a new workstation. So under that circumstances, we don't create Chef repo. Then what to do? So you need to ask your team lead or somebody, okay, who has given the ticket you asking you to set up, ask them, here is our chef repo. You understood? Definitely this will be sitting somewhere in the version control system. Maybe in the GitHub, maybe in the GitLab or somewhere. You understood, guys, what I'm talking? In this case, you have to be careful always. Again, you are creating, again, merging with them, all it will mess up. So, new thing, create it. Existing stuff, we are trying to add a new workstation. We don't try to create the chef repo. So, check with your team lead or somebody and ask them where is our chef repo and get the link and clone it. Clear? Get the URL link and clone it. So please write this into your notes, guys. Quickly. Case study number 1, new setup, create chef repo. Case number 2, not a new setup, clone the repo, get the URL and clone the repo. So which one I should do now? Tell me, guys. Am I eligible for case 1 or am I eligible for case 2? It's a case 1 only because we are doing entirely new setup. So we'll create the repo. So we'll say chef generate. Let me increase the font size. Repo. This is a command, chef generate repo. Give a space and type the repo name should be chef-repo only. This is also a constant, guys. You cannot change the name at all. Like in the Docker file. Like in Jenkins file. Here it is chef repo. That's it. Chef-repo and press enter. It will create the chef repo. It will take a minute of time. So it is asking, please accept the licenses, say yes, and press enter. Done. So now check it ls-l. Do you see a chef repo folder there? I think the second one. This is the one which we just created. See the March 28 date, 9:30 time chef repo. So go into that folder now and see what's there inside. You see some structure created. Please write this structure. So once the chef repo has been created, this is the standard structure you'll have. You have chef ignore, you have cookbooks, you have data bags, you have license, you have policy files, and you have README. I repeat, we have chef ignore, cookbooks, data bags, license, policy files, and README. So this is a standard structure that you will get, guys. So once you create your repo, so that structure is already screenshot is here. So that is what. Now, what is the use of each folder? Those details are given here. So chef ignore is exactly similar to the git ignore. Anything that you do not want to be exposed onto the server side, because from workstation, I told you we push it onto the server. So which you do not want, put them in chef ignore. Cookbooks. So this is where collection of cookbooks will be there. That's a place where we write our code. Databags is nothing but arranging the cookbooks in a category wise. Okay. The next license is talks about chef rights and privileges. And policy means keeping some restrictions. So we'll write some policy restrictions, who should access, who should not access. So those kind of things. And README is generally generic information about the chef, about our project. You can also document there. So these are the uses of each folder or each item there. That's use in general. Now, going to this, 1 second. Mhm. Okay. Now going to this third step where we see, now do you see something called .chef folder, guys, here? Inside the chef repo, my question is, do you see a folder called .chef? Folder called .chef inside the chef repo. The answer is no. So I was asking the question, do you see something called .chef folder? I don't see here. So if it does not exist, you have to create. So mkdir dot chef. Am I clear on this step, guys? Because this is the place where you have to create your knife file. You remember what is the use of knife file? What is the use of knife file, guys? So what is a knife file? So this file, knife.rb. RB means Ruby, guys. Like in example, .pdf, .document, .excel, correct? .yaml. Here it is .rb. RB means Ruby because this chef is written in Ruby, so that's the reason it is .rb. So this is the one which is going to help the workstation to talk to the server. So that file. And this file has to be created under the chef repo under the .chef folder. That is the reason. Clear? So that file sits in .chef. So if the folder does not exist, we have to create. I created it. Now I can see the .chef. That is nothing but this one. Just now I created. I'll go into that and nothing is there. ls-l, nothing is there. So my duty is to create the knife file here. So I'll say simply touch knife.rb. Knife.rb. So I created a file. The file exists. But did we write any code into it? Tell me, guys, did we write? Nothing. Not yet. So empty file does not make any sense there. So in that file, we have to write some code. So that code, once you write that code, so that code is going to help us to connect the workstation with the server. Got it? Am I clear so far, guys? Confirm. So we created the chef repo. We went into the .chef. We created a knife file. As of now, it is empty. Now we are going to write a small code in the knife.rb, and that code is going to help us to connect this server with workstation. Both can talk to each other. And that code is not complex because there is a standard template available. You have to just fill the details, guys, nothing else. This is a standard template which is available in the documentation of chef material only. So I just copied from it. So it is nothing fancy there. It's all copy paste work. So here you have to realize something. You see some red colors, guys, in this template. So this is a template which is there in official document also. So in this template, you see some red stuff 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means totally at 6 places you have to fill the details. That's it. That is your duty. Shall we do? That's a template. You have to just fill the details. So I copied the template here. So wherever you see this angle brackets, guys, this angle bracket, that is where you need to hold on. So check the each line. First line, nothing. Second line, nothing. Third line, nothing. Fourth line, you have to hold on here. It is asking us to fill the username. Okay. Now, before you fill this details, you need to have clarity on the two things now. That will help you to fill the details. Two things. What are those two things? Okay. First one, we know that we are about to create the workstation now, correct? We are trying to configure the workstation, right? Now, this workstation you are configuring for which organization? That is what you have to take the decision. Which organization are we trying to create this workstation? Two things you have to decide and then write that coding. So my organization is VKT. So I got first clarity now. Okay. Second clarity. If it is org is VKT, then to that org, which user ID is authorized? It is admin. That's it. Clear, guys? Only two things you have to have in your brain. So before writing the knife file, clarity is required on two things. Which organization I am trying to create this workstation, and for which user account that organization is authorized. So admin account is authorized to work with VKT. So keeping these two details with you, you have to write this coding now. Now tell me, what is a user account now? It is asking username only. Which user account? Admin. That's it. Fill up that, including double quotes, guys. Don't miss the double quotes. Remove the angle brackets and just fill the details. So fourth line is done. I'm moving on to the fifth line. What is the username here? What is our user ID? It's an admin. So just fill it. Over. That line is also over. The next line. What is our organization short name? It is VKT. So what we'll do? We'll just remove this and we put VKT. That line is also over. Next line. What is again? It is asking here again the short name. What is our organization short name? Same thing. It is VKT. The last line. This one. In this line, you have to be careful, guys, in the URL. And this is one of the areas where I see most of the students are making the mistakes. So in this line, just be cautious. Now in this, at two places, you have to fill the detail. This is 1 and this is 2. So now tell me, what is the Chef server host name? You have the Chef server, right? So for that server, you need to find the host name. Now the question comes is how to find the host name. What is the Linux command to find the host name? Give me the answers. Those who are done very strong in Linux or have good knowledge in Linux. What is a command in Linux to find the host name? Ahmed, Sheikh, Shravanti, Sushmita. The command is host name is the command. So go to the server because it is asking the server details, right? So go to the server and fire this command host name. What is that? You got it on the screen. You need to type it there. That's it. It is telling chef-server. What I have to do? So in this entire square bracket, remove this and type chef-server. That is done. The next one is organization short name. Our short name is again VKT. That's it. Our fillings are done. Are we clear on this fillings, guys? Template is clear now, easy, nothing complex. Just if you clear on two details, which organization, what is ID, and you have to just fill the values and copy this entire stuff and open that. Where is that workstation knife file? and paste it. That's the only duty you have to do. Save this and close. Make sure that when you're copy pasting, it is pasting the data correctly. Okay. Save this and come out. So that means in the knife, there is code in place. The next, what is the next step? We'll see. So this part is done. And the next step is you need to fire this command. Knife as a self fetch. Okay. Knife as a self fetch. So what this command is going to do? So this command will take the code that is written on the workstation, reaches out to the server and configures our credentials so that the server and the workstation talk to each other. So that is what it is going to do. Knife SSL fetch. Okay, we got some errors. You can ignore warnings, guys. This is okay. Warnings you can ignore. So this is talking about some update stuff. But you should be worried about this one. Error. So this is an expected and estimated error message that you will get. Generally. Expected and estimated also. Focus here, guys. These two lines, bottom. It says network error, get info. If you get this error, what you need to do is you have to open up the connect to the server. You have to do the three things. You have to update the host files on server, workstation, and also on the client. This thing you have to do. Okay. So I'm doing it now. I'm on the server. To open up the host file, vi/etc/host. Open this. Vi. I'll show you once again what I done. So vi, please write this into your notes, guys. You need to open up vi/etc/host file. Open this file. Escape I. And already you have the details of the server. Here, you need to just update the details of workstation and your target client. So 192.168.1.2.d. Give a space. That is our chef workstation. 192.168.1.230. Give a space. Type chef hyphen client. So that is our client, right? Done. Save this and close. Same thing you have to do it on workstation also. Open this. We hit etc/host file. Escape I. Already workstation details are there. Update this server. And update the client details. Save this and close. And connect to the client machine and do the same thing. So 192.168.1.230. Some error. 192.168.1.230. So I got connected to the client guys. Now open this vi/etc/. Yeah, just give me a minute, guys. Okay, I'm ready, guys. vi/etc/host here. Now here already we have the client details. That means server and workstation details need to be updated. 192.168 1.2, I guess 210 is my chef-server. 192.168.1.220 is my chef-workstation. And please make sure that when you're writing these details into this file, you have to be super careful. No spelling mistakes, no errors. Done. So once this is done, go back to the workstation and try the same thing. SSL fetch. Okay, it worked. Okay, the error did not come. I did not receive any error. Earlier I got the error, but now I did not receive. Now this part you can ignore. And here you can see certificates from the chef server will be fetched and placed under the trust certificates. And there is no something blah 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 it was telling. The point is, if this fetch has been success correctly, that means if your knife file is configured properly, then definitely you will see this. See, this automatically gets created. If this getting created, this confirms that your knife code has been went in a right direction. Yeah. Now, still you want to verify? This is the command. Knife SSL check. Press enter. See, it says connected to the host chef server at 443 port number and successfully verified the certificates from chef server. That means this message confirms that server and workstation are talking now. Communication got established. And the last part is this one, client. And this will confirm, okay, this workstation can talk to which organization. So this command will help you to understand whether, so let's say two organizations are there and you want to know to which organization this workstation is configured. So this command can tell you. So this is telling you that okay, what is this? Okay, your private key could not be loaded from. Why? Let me check, guys. Give me a minute. So the issue looks like with the permission. So I'm changing it. Chmod 777 admin.pem chmod 777 vkt is unable to read. So it's done. Then come back to this and check it. Private key, yeah, private key not loaded from chef.chef.admin.pem. Check your configuration file and ensure that private key is readable. So what happened with this? It is not reading it. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. I need to search on the internet, guys. Okay. Connect. Okay, check stuff. So let me try different way. So a prime could not be loaded. So it worked. So we done one small mistake when we are doing the step was we missed this transfer we forgot. So we identified the steps again. So we forgot this. Okay. So this step we forgot, guys. So we have to transfer the PEM files from the server to the workstation under the .chef folder, right? Whether you transfer the file before the knife creation or after the knife creation, that's okay. But you need to transfer the files. So on the server, side, so this is the logic. On the server side, you have the file sitting at /etc/chef, right? You need to download them. That is admin and this workstation files, download them and then upload them to the workstation under .chef folder, guys. So that is what you need to do. So you need to download and upload. Clear? So that is what we have to do. So that is what simple step I have done, guys. Downloaded because we skipped this step. So I done with it. So now since I fired that command, I'm getting vkt-validator. So that means that this workstation is capable of only working with an organization that says vkt. So if you create one more organization, it will not work for that. So that's a meaning. And from here to here, you need to ignore because it's trying to give some warnings of depreciated commands. The next step, what is our next step? So we're done with this. And our last step is we have to configure the node now. Okay. So we have to configure the node. So let's do it. Give me a minute. Okay. So the process looks like this, guys. So when you're planning to configure the node, you're trying to introduce to the server. So that means node or a client is one and the same. So whether you configure node or configure the client, it's one and the same. So when you are trying to introduce this node or a client to the server, we call that process as bootstrapping. So bootstrapping is a process of introducing a client computer to the server. So to do the bootstrapping, we require below details now. Below details of whom of node. So what are those details? First, I require IP address of node. Second, I require the host name of the node. Third, I require the user ID that you're going to use to log in into the node computer base. So to log into the node, we'll use some user ID, right? That ID I require. And fourth, we require the password also. User ID, password. Now there are some clauses here. And fifth is OS details also. Like in Ansible, same story here. We require the IP address, we require the host name, we require the user ID, password, and OS type also. So let's fill the details. In the IP address, it is nothing but 192.168.1.230 is IP. And what is its host name? Remember the host name, guys? The host name is chef-client. And what is the user ID? I'm planning to use a root account. And what is its password? The password is this. And what is its OS? This is the Linux. Now there is one clause here. Conditions apply. Clause means some rules, some mischievous thing. So if you are planning to use other than the root account, let's say some normal user account. So let's say John or Smith. So that user account need to have sudo power. So if you are not using root account, then any other account if you are trying to use, then that account should have the sudo power. Make sure that you have that knowledge. Okay. So if you are using, let's say, a Smith or a John, that ID should have sudo power. So keeping these details with us, now let's fire the bootstrap command. So this is a bootstrap command, guys. So this is the command. Open this and type the details, guys. So you can see. So this command looks like this. So let me put in the format. I'll say knife bootstrap. This is nothing but IP address -n. This is nothing but the host name. And next thing is connection -user. Then you have to fill the username and connection -password. Then you have to put the password. So exactly already the details are ready. So this is nothing but IP address. This is nothing but the host name. So if you have these details with you, so this looks like a command, guys. So let me copy that command and update in the notes also. So this is a new command. Okay. So to that command, we just fill the details. Our IP address is 192.168.1 dot. It is not 100. It is 230. Host name is chef client only, correct? No change here. Username is root and password is this. So no changes. We just copy this and bootstrap. So now the biggest question is from where you should fire this. Can you guess the answer, guys? Should we fire this from the server or should we fire this from the client or should we fire this from workstation? Guess, give me the guess answer. So Rahul is saying it is should be done from the server. What is the opinion of others, guys? Sravanti, what do you think? Sushmita, what do you think? Upendra, Vijay, Ahmad, Pavan. So it is not from the server. The reason is the command starts with a word called knife. If the command starts with a word called knife, from where you should fire, guys? I think I gave you some tips, right? Workstation, yes. So that's the reason I gave you the tip initially. The command is starting from the knife, then you should fire from workstation. So copy this. Make sure that you are connected to the workstation. Yeah, I'm in the workstation only. In the workstation, you should be under .chef folder. Say I'm in the .chef. Then right click and paste that command. And make sure that the server is on, client is also on. And then press enter. Capital Y. I got error. Okay, one more error I got. What is this? Okay. Now do one thing. Delete this. Delete that validator file. And delete that admin file also from the workstation. Done. And fire this command. This again. Okay, now it is not readable. So what did I do? Did I delete the wrong file? I deleted Rickety. Then I deleted admin.pem. Okay. It's there. Now it is not reading. This is one more headache. So again, I need to transfer. So connection name is root only, not admin. The reason is you need to fill the details of node. My node login ID is root. I'm doing correctly only. So it says no file or directory. So why this error is coming? Stop transfer of validator file org file. So let's do one thing. Let's only delete the org file and see what happens. And refire this command. Okay. Now it is going right way. Press Y. Okay, it's going in right direction now. So validator file needs to be eliminated here. So this is how you will get if it is configured properly. Like this you will get. Okay, so it's done. Then let's check whether it's configured properly or not. So the command is this, guys. Knife node list. So copy this command and put it there. See, when you type this node list, we got at the end chef-client is configured. So when you fire this command, what happens is it is going to tell you how many node machines are configured. So this is clearly telling that it is only one machine is configured. Got it? So next command is this, the last one. So this is going to tell you in-depth details about that client. So chef-client. Knife client show, put the client name. So here are the details. Admin is false, chef_type is false, name is fine, validator false. So you'll get see more details tomorrow, guys. The reason is, so as of now, just only configured. So once you start writing some cookbooks and trying to interact with the client, then you'll get this kind of details a lot. At this point, there is nothing is configured. That's the reason all the values are false. So I'll stop it here for the day. So with this, we're done with the configuration of the server. We've done the configuration of the workstation, and we've done the configuration of the client also. So tomorrow we'll come to know how to write the cookbooks, execution, and write some samples and so on today and tomorrow and day after tomorrow, guys. So that's all for the day, and let's catch up tomorrow, guys. See you. Bye bye.